Notice what happens right before you speak. Your brain doesn't wait for clarity. It runs a simulation. You predict reactions. You rehearse objections. You edit tone. You soften impact. And by the time your internal green light turns on, the moment has moved. Here's the uncomfortable part. This doesn't happen because you lack confidence. It happens because your processing power is too high. The smarter you are, the more variables you calculate. But in real life, speed often beats precision. So let me ask you something quietly confronting. Are you actually cautious, or are you over-negotiating with yourself? Stay with me, because this is where everything shifts. Chapter 1: The Self-Monitoring Loop. Most people think intelligence automatically creates advantage. It doesn't. It creates simulation. Your prefrontal cortex is constantly predicting outcomes, but not just outcomes, versions of you inside those outcomes. How will this land? What will they assume? Does this affect how I'm perceived? That's high-level cognition. It's also high-level friction. And friction doesn't look dramatic. It looks thoughtful. But here's the twist. Delay compounds silently. The world rewards visible movement. Your brain rewards internal accuracy. Those two systems don't always align. And if this is already resonating, pause for a second. Like the video. It tells me you want more frameworks like this. Now let's go deeper. Chapter 2: The Micro-Postponement Pattern. Smart people rarely fail loudly. They postpone quietly. You refine the angle. You adjust the positioning. You optimize the phrasing. You improve the structure. It feels responsible. But here's what your brain hears every time you adjust. Not safe yet. And biologically, not safe yet becomes not now. Over time, not now becomes identity. You don't see yourself as hesitant. You see yourself as strategic. But strategy without compression turns into drift. And drift is invisible until years pass. This is the part most people never notice. Chapter 3: The Social Cost of Nuance. Watch less analytical people in conversations. They state, they assert, they move. Now watch yourself. You soften statements. You add disclaimers. You pre-correct objections. It sounds intelligent. Socially, it signals uncertainty. Here's the psychology. Group dynamics reward clarity over complexity, not because clarity is smarter, but because it's easier to follow. Intelligent people trade impact for nuance, and nuance is powerful in analysis, but expensive in momentum. This is why people sometimes take you less seriously, not because you lack intelligence, but because you distribute it too carefully. Let that sit for a second. Chapter 4: Identity Delay. Here's where it gets even more subtle. When was the last time you committed to an identity without caveats? I'm building this. I'm choosing this. I'm becoming this. Smart minds resist premature closure. We call it keeping options open. But options without direction become drift. And drift feels safe because it protects you from being wrong. But here's the quiet truth. The world allocates opportunity to visible commitment, not to internal potential. And if you've ever wondered why you feel behind despite being capable, this is the overlap with my video, Why Smart People Get Mentally Tired Faster. Because constant internal simulation drains cognitive energy. You're not behind because you lack ability. You're exhausted from over-processing. That link is important. Chapter 5: Over-calibration becomes default. Neuroscience is simple here. Repeated hesitation wires familiarity. Your brain optimizes what it repeats. So if you constantly wait for better clarity, waiting becomes efficient. Preparation becomes your comfort zone. And comfort zones don't feel dangerous. They feel intelligent. This is why smart people often win arguments but lose time. And time compounds whether you move or not. Here's a small friction question. If you reduced your hesitation window by half, What would already be different? Don't answer quickly. Feel it. Chapter 6. The Reputation Trap. After years of this pattern, you earn labels: thoughtful, strategic, careful, all positive, but rarely decisive. Opportunities move toward visible commitment, not recklessness, commitment. And being intelligent doesn't exempt you from that system. It just makes you more aware of it while still negotiating internally. That awareness can either empower you or paralyze you. The difference is compression. Chapter 7. The Execution Compression Shift. Let's make this practical. 3 moves. Clarify direction quickly, not perfectly. Commit visibly, not privately. And continue without reevaluating every microstep. That's it. Compression creates motion. Motion creates feedback. Feedback creates real clarity, not hypothetical clarity. Being smart isn't the problem. Uncontrolled internal veto power is. And here's the identity shift. You don't need less intelligence. You need shorter negotiation windows. If this hit deeper than expected, comment where you overcalibrate most. Work, relationships, decisions. I read those. And if you're done being the most thoughtful person in the room who still feels slightly stuck, subscribe. Because intelligence is leverage, but only when it moves. So here's the final question, and don't skip this. What decision are you delaying that already has enough clarity to begin? Your move.